Community of practice in forensic linguistics. As a member of law enforcement every day, you may encounter an array of individuals from all different walks of life during the performance of your duties. Maybe angry individuals involved in domestic situations, or the one guy being pulled over for driving 20 over the limit, beer in hand. You may even have to interview that same guy later at the station once he had had a chance to cool off. Perhaps you stopped at the park and had a chat with the kids that were playing there. And later today, you are having a presentation for college professors. In all of these situations, you will likely hear different ways in which people communicate, different styles. In linguistics, we call that language variation. We should never forget that language is not math. Our way of communicating is in constant change, and we actually change our speech based on the environment in which we find ourselves. For example, as a member of the law enforcement community, you share the same vocabulary as any average English speaker, but you also have a specific set of words, expressions, and concepts that people outside of that community don't typically use or may not even understand. When the workday is over, you go home and interact with different social environments, your family, the kids bringing friends from school, the next door neighbor having a barbecue party. And your speech style will vary and adapt to the new environment. Those different groups form what we call a speech community, a concept typically connected to factors like socioeconomic status, education, ethnicity, geographic location, age, etc. Within that concept of speech community, we can find another concept that is a more focused and specific one, the community of practice. This is an important element in language variation because it can provide us with an additional tool for analyzing speech. And with that, we can perhaps have the opportunity to identify or eliminate a suspect. It gives us an additional viewpoint to conduct these investigations. What are the characteristics of a community of practice? The members have a shared practice or common interest. It may be a football club, a reading club, an animal advocate group, or perhaps a gang or a drug trafficking enterprise. They share experiences over time, which may be solidified by regular meetings. This creates a learning opportunity or learning process for new members based on social experience and not in theory. There may be a certain hierarchy, whether by seniority or by members' designation. They share a repertoire, their own way of perceiving the world, perhaps. And there are shared jargons, inside jokes, new meanings created that are unique to that group. So why is this concept of community of practice important to law enforcement? It can provide clues to determine facts like authorship in cases of threats or suicide notes. It can give us an additional tool to identify individuals in control calls or wiretaps. It can aid in ruling out or a potential suspect. A community of practice identifies social groupings not based on abstract characteristics like age, race, etc., or the simple presence in a particular space, such as a neighborhood or a school, but instead in virtue of the particular shared practice. These are important concepts to keep in our toolboxes. However, it is important to keep in mind that language and speech cannot be analyzed in a bubble. Just because a kid is using certain gang terminology does not make them automatically members of the MS-13 gang. Just like kids playing cops can't be considered law enforcement officers. A community of practice is not inherently good or bad. It simply is. Use the concept with care.